people are linking Deshaun Watson to the 49ers. That report got shut down real quick by everyone that said the Niners were taking Mac Jones, so take that with a grain of salt. What do you guys think? Buy or sell the Niners' reported interest in Deshaun Watson?
Okay.
I'll take it first. I sell it. I don't think that there's a whole lot of interest there. It would make sense from the fact that I think there was interest with Deshaun Watson last year. He had his legal troubles, and so that's when I think they pivoted to Trey Lance. Now, do they move forward with this and decide that they're going to go all in on a quarterback and move Lance? I think that's what it'd take. I don't think that happens. I think the only way that they would get this done is to trade Lance plus future picks, and maybe Lance and George Kittle gets it done. But beyond that, I don't think that they can make this trade happen. So there might be some interest there, but I don't think it goes very far.
Yeah, sell. I don't know that they exactly. I don't know that they even have enough to get it done. Because to me, what Houston's going to be interested in is draft picks. They're not going to be interested in George Kittle. They would want Trey Lance, but then they would want draft picks. But you don't have draft picks. You don't have first rounders because you got Trey Lance last year and you gave up 3 first rounders for him. So when you look at the other teams that are in the market and the assets that they have, I don't think Houston would be interested. I know Deshaun would, but it's going to take 2 to tango. I don't Houston's just not going to give Deshaun Watson whatever he wants. They're going to want compensation in return.
Well, let's go back to the question. Buy or sell the Niners' interest in Deshaun? Coach just said he thinks Deshaun's interested in the Niners. I think we can all agree that he would be interested in the Niners. What quarterback wouldn't be? Brady apparently was. So that's probably true. And then the Niners interested in him. I think we all assumed they were last year. What has changed since then? Okay, we learned about his personal life. That's true. That is true, although no one really knows what happened other than the people who was in those rooms. We also know that he was not indicted and isn't going to be a criminal. So we also know that other teams are interested, and if the Niners don't get this guy, he could go to a team in the NFC that could be in their way. I think they'd be crazy not to be interested. I think they were interested last year. They probably waited for some clarity on his legal issues. They're probably still interested. I mean, did Trey Lance really do that much in the last year to make them be like, you know what, screw Deshaun Watson. We like Lance better. I mean, clearly, I like Lance, but they didn't go to Lance when they had the opportunity. I don't know. I think that there's probably something to this, and the reason that so many people came out and said it's not happening is the Niners don't want people to think this is happening because it's probably a long shot for the reasons you guys said. Can they even present the best deal? Maybe not. But to even find out, you would have to have some conversations. And I think they probably should have those, and they should probably do it in secret. And I think they came this close, except some dude named Jordan Schultz blew the lid off it, and the Niners went to all their friends. They're like, would you say that that's not happening? Because they probably had some possible deniability that I don't really understand. But I don't know. Also, my friend Jason Dumas from KRON reported the same thing. And that guy, I totally trust that guy. He's actually really plugged in. So I think there's something to it. I don't think the Niners are going to get Deshaun Watson. They'd have to sell it to the Texans as look, another team could give you more picks, but there's no quarterback in this draft that you can get that compares to Lance.
And I think you just hit on the piece there. The Texans have a good defense. They're a good team that is but they don't have a quarterback, and they need some offensive weapons to go with it. So that's why if you decide to throw in if it's a Lance and a Kittle or Lance and somebody else, it makes sense for them to possibly go that route over draft picks. I think if I'm the Texans, I'd rather have a quarterback that can play for me than go into this next season with Davis Mills as my QB.
About Lance and Ayuk. Ayuk might have more trade value than Kittle just because he's younger, cheaper. I'm just saying. What about Lance and Ayuk?
I think the other thing I think that I want to say is the message that they put out is that they're not trying to meet with Deshaun Watson. They didn't say they're not interested. They said we're not trying to meet.
Definitely not meeting with him. It could be a Zoom meeting and be like, oh, that's technically not a meeting. It could be a call. It could be like, I'll talk to this person, then he talks to this person, then he talks to this person, then they talk to you. There's so many ways that they could say it's not really a meeting.
And I keep saying this on everybody, but the 49ers do kick the tires on everybody. They are interested in every single person. We laugh at it all the time because every report comes out that, hey, the Niners are interested in this guy. They always kick the tires on everybody.
You have to be interested in Deshaun Watson. If he came to the NFC, he'd be the best quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah.
Or one of them.
But
you have to be interested. You have to think about it, right?
Yeah. You know what it is? You know what it is too? I actually like that part. It's actually a good business, right? Because if I kick the tires on everybody, when I am actually interested, it makes when other players like, hey, that's just what we do. They just it calms them down a little bit. It calms the fan base down a little bit because now the fan base knows that's just how we do business. Like we kick the tires on everybody. So like don't be alarmed when you hear something crazy or whatever. And then when you do something crazy, it doesn't set off the alarms.
Like Jack, let's say it comes down to the Niners and the Saints as the two teams Deshaun Watson is interested in. I mean, can the Niners not make a better offer than the Saints?
I think the 49ers don't have all the draft capital that the Saints do, but the 49ers have a quarterback. They have two of them that they could send to Houston that could help them. That could be better than what they have currently.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they really do. Whether you're obviously if you're the 49ers, you're probably going to want to have that be Jimmy Garoppolo to get out from underneath the salary cap deal. But other than that, I mean, you've got two of them that you can send. And you're like, hey, I got two guys. You want one of them? Because they're both better than yours.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's going to end up happening, but I think it has a legitimate chance of happening. I think the Niners have to be interested. I think it's really interesting to talk about because I don't see what team's going to present a better deal than the Niners. I mean, yeah, you could get more picks in this year's draft, but who are you going to take? Sam Howell? Who you want? Desmond Ridder? Who's it going to be? You're a Matt Corral kind of guy. Like, no, you're not. You want Trey Lance, don't you? I'm just saying. Yeah. I don't know. When will we find out, guys?
Maybe you're ahead of the curve on this whole George Kittle thing. Maybe you were.
Maybe it's going to be a monster trade package for Deshaun.
Wait, the other part of it too, like, would Deshaun be that happy? Like, if to get me, you have to give up George Kittle, like, does he want to have less weapons when he arrives? Like,
I don't know. These are things that we would have to investigate, but it seems like this story has legs. Ultimately, I don't think the Niners. Here's the thing, because the Niners are the team that always investigates, right? So of course they're investigating. They investigate. They always do their due diligence, and then they don't get the guy. They're like, we're gonna get J.C. Jackson. We're gonna get J.C. Jackson. We're gonna get. Actually, we're gonna go just a little bit. That's what they do. They're like the guys that go into like the casino and think they're gonna spend a lot of money, and then they just we just lost. We're done. That's me, by the way.
I say like they're the guys that like they go into the Lamborghini store, but just trying to see if there's one in their price range. But like it's like
one that's like slightly used, like a blemish on it.
Yeah.
That's what I did with my Kia Stinger. $9,000, $15,000 off the sticker. 9,000 miles, $15,000 off the sticker price. You gotta love that. Got to. Connor says, Grant, why are Niner fans so quick to accept mediocrity from such a storied franchise, from free agency to quarterback play, etc.? See, I think this is a marker in how old you are. If you live through the 90s, let's just say the 90s, the tail end of the DeBartolo years, of course the 80s too, I think you just have higher standards. I think people that are born and bred on Parag Marathe have a different way of looking at it. That's my simplest reductionist way of looking at it. What do you think?
Wait, they did just make the NFC Championship game though. That's not mediocrity, right? Like,
do we hang? They didn't even win it. We don't hang those around here. I thought Jed York said that. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't. No, they don't hang championship banners.
They don't hang those around here. They used to be hired Hall of Fame coaches, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. That's what we do in San Francisco. That's it. Anything less is unacceptable. Oh, you're not a Hall of Fame quarterback? Get the hell out of town.
Well, I mean, the funny thing about the 49ers and the fans who feel like they're in this mediocrity mode, I mean, you got to go back over the last 20 years and realize this team is either in the toilet or they're in the playoffs going making deep runs. There's really not much of a in between. So,
and Jack, what's Jack's history? What's Kyle Shanahan's history with sustained success in the NFL?
He doesn't have it. He hasn't. We haven't seen it from him. It's an up and down thing, but and that all goes back to Deshaun Watson or Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo being healthy. One of those three guys. When he has a very good quarterback or a good quarterback. That's not even say very good, but when he has a decent quarterback, he can win games.
Has Kyle ever been on a team as a coach? Has he ever been on a team that's had back-to-back winning seasons?
No, the closest he's been. Maybe I think if you go back to his first 2 years in Houston, I think they went to they might have been. I know they've had like an 8-8 followed by a winning season or something like that. I know they had that one in.
That sounds about right. So hence the interest in a future Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, the only thing that would make Kyle Shanahan vulnerable is if he goes to Trey Lance and Trey Lance struggles. If he does that, Kyle Shanahan's stock plummets. Anything else, he's fine.
Grant, I've got the Deshaun Watson trade for you.
What?
Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan for Deshaun Watson.
And Watson can coach the team himself. Or Anthony Lynn. Maybe Anthony Lynn was brought in here because they've been planning to trade Shanahan the whole time. Someone called into the Cohn phone and actually said that theory. Like, so you're late to that, or maybe I just stole it from him.
That would be awesome.
Makes sense. Marco says maybe Jimmy and Kyle go together, and it's revealed at the very. They're like, actually, we were the tag team champs the whole time. You know what I mean? Like in WWF, like they thought they didn't like each other, but they were actually really friends. You know?
Yeah.
Trade the same team. Marco, thank you very much. That Niner guy says this has the same odds at TB12 of the Niners, 0.0001%. Yeah, because the Niners, they like kicking the tires. They don't actually like buying the car.
Yeah.
They don't buy the Lambo.
Nah.
They buy the Kia Stinger with 9,000 miles on it.